You must burn! You killed my son!
If you're strong enough to stand out here and shoot 27 kids that had nothing to do with anything, you must come out and say you did it. You that strong, you that bad.
It was females, people like me that had nothing to do with it. And if you gonna shoot in a whole crowd of people, that's wicked.
Released from the hospital Monday, she's now recovering from several gunshot wounds.
It's 3 in the back.
Police say it was a targeted attack. Thomas can't believe anyone would risk the lives of innocent people to try to settle a score.
And you know what's so crazy? Because I want to be mad at them, right? I honestly pray for them people. For you to sit there and you shoot up a whole crowd like that, you lost. Your soul, you is lost. You need God more than I do.
She's the same age as the men who didn't survive the shooting, all of them targeted by a trio who took just 10 seconds to shatter dozens of lives.
Anybody that know me, I always tell them that I'm God's favorite. Trust me, miss, I know I'm blessed.
A third person has died in Sunday's shooting. The family of Shaniqua Peterson told me the 32-year-old mother passed away Thursday. On Wednesday, the family spoke to us, revealing she was in a coma after being shot in the head.
This is the heart-wrenching story of Shaniqua Peterson, a 32-year-old who went out for a night of fun and fell victim to a devastating mass shooting that unfolded over a year ago in northwest Miami-Dade. Shaniqua, a vibrant 32-year-old, was not just a victim of that tragic Memorial Day weekend in 2021, she was a devoted mother to her 13-year-old son, whose life was forever altered by the violence that struck their community. The enduring pain left in the wake of the senseless tragedy that unfolded outside the El Mula banquet hall destroyed the lives of many, left a mother's heart forever scarred, and a community in mourning. Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to northwest Miami-Dade, Florida, a place that bore witness to a tragic crime that shook the community to its core. In this tight-knit neighborhood, we meet Shaniqua Peterson, a vibrant 32-year-old woman who lived life to the fullest. Shaniqua was a loving mother who poured her heart into caring for her 13-year-old son.
You heard what I said the first time. Get out my face!
Her dynamic personality radiated positivity and warmth. Shaniqua was known for her outgoing nature, always ready to bring a smile to others' faces. She embodied the essence of an amazing mother who not only cherished her family, but also had a reputation for having everyone's back when they needed it most. Her infectious smile was a beacon of hope in the lives of those around her, making her a beloved figure in the community. In the heart of Miami-Dade, Florida, a horrifying mass shooting unfolded, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. This heinous act, described by detectives as a targeted act of violence, claimed the lives of 3 innocent victims and left 20 others wounded. Miami-Dade Police Director Freddie Ramirez condemned it as a despicable act of gun violence and a cowardly act. The incident unfolded after a birthday celebration for local rapper ABMG Spitta, also known as Courtney Paul Wilson. As the night wore on, the music stopped and patrons gathered outside the El Mula banquet hall. It was at this moment that 3 individuals emerged from a white Nissan Pathfinder SUV, armed with assault rifles and handguns, and indiscriminately opened fire into the crowd. In a disturbing turn, return fire came from some patrons, leading to the discovery of around 100 shell casings at the scene. However, the identity of those who fired back remains unknown. The victims, some of whom were taken to hospitals in their vehicles, were rushed to medical facilities in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. The El Mula banquet hall, initially hosting a concert, turned into a scene of chaos and tragedy. Paramedics and personal vehicles transported the injured, and the toll on the victims and their families was immeasurable. Tragedy continued to cast its shadow over the Miami-Dade shooting as a 32-year-old woman, Shaniqua Peterson, succumbed to her injuries days after the horrifying incident. Shaniqua's passing marked the 3rd fatality stemming from the senseless act of violence that unfolded outside the banquet hall. Shaniqua Peterson's journey took a grievous turn when she was shot in the head during the mass shooting. She had fought a valiant battle, spending agonizing days in a coma in the ICU, with a bullet still lodged in her brain. The news of her passing was confirmed by her devastated aunt and later by the Miami-Dade police. Desmond Owens, a 26-year-old father of 2, was also one of the victims killed in the early morning hours of that fateful Sunday. At least 4 gunmen had unleashed a barrage of bullets into the crowd outside the banquet hall, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Surveillance footage captured the chilling sequence of events, showing 3 assailants getting out of a white Nissan Pathfinder, while another fired from a different angle. As the community grappled with this heart-wrenching loss, Shaniqua's memory endured as that of a dedicated mother, lovingly raising her 12-year-old son. Her life was tragically cut short, adding to the grief that already weighed heavily upon the families of Desmond Owens and Clayton Dillard, both 26, who lost their lives in the same violent incident. Over 20 others were left wounded, their lives forever altered by the events of that ill-fated night. As the investigation unfolded, Miami-Dade police investigated deeper into the tragedy, exploring the possibility of a second car's involvement in the shooting. Surveillance footage and witness interviews fueled their efforts. The footage revealed flashes near a car as 3 individuals, believed to be the perpetrators, hastily retreated in a white SUV. In a cruel twist, it was determined that the gunfire had not been directed at these masked men, but at the innocent crowd outside the building. The investigation was shrouded in uncertainty regarding the involvement of one or multiple individuals from the second car, and it would take time to determine if any of the rounds from that vehicle had struck the victims outside the banquet hall. In the aftermath of the harrowing mass shooting in northwest Miami-Dade, the survivors' voices resonate with a mix of pain, disbelief, and resilience. Among them, Kadedra Thomas, 26, shares her chilling experience of that fateful night. Waiting outside a banquet hall to attend a concert, she found herself thrust into a nightmare as bullets tore through the crowd. Kadedra Thomas vividly recalls the moment when chaos erupted, likening it to a surreal movie scene. She recounts the heart-wrenching sight of innocent people, including women like herself, falling victim to the hail of bullets. Her voice trembles as she questions how anyone could unleash such violence upon a crowd without a shred of regard for human life.
I was in a movie and see them people dropping like that. It was females, people like me that had nothing to do with it. And if you gonna shoot in a whole crowd of people, that's wicked.
Surveillance footage and cell phone videos posted on social media captured the frantic scramble for safety as 3 armed men unleashed terror upon the crowd. The haunting images depict the wounded awaiting help and others grappling with the aftermath of the carnage. Clayton Dillard, Desmond Owens, and Shaniqua Peterson tragically succumbed to their injuries, leaving grieving families behind. The wounded, aged between 17 and 32 years old, bear both physical and emotional scars from that fateful night. Kadedra Thomas herself was struck 3 times in the back, but managed to maintain composure while waiting for first responders. She reflects on her ordeal with a mix of gratitude and bewilderment, thanking a higher power for her survival.
I just kept praying and I just kept thinking about my family. Anybody that know me, I always tell them that I'm God's favorite. Trust me, miss, I know I'm blessed.
Despite the trauma, Thomas extends compassion even to the attackers, grappling with the profound question of how they could be willing to sacrifice innocent lives for their vendettas. Police intensified their efforts to bring the culprits to justice. Surveillance footage emerged, offering a chilling glimpse into the moments leading up to the shooting. A white Nissan Pathfinder pulled up, and 3 heavily armed individuals disembarked. Moments later, they hurriedly retreated to the vehicle, which sped away from the scene. This was the pivotal moment when a hail of over 100 gunshots erupted, leaving the crowd in chaos and despair. The investigation uncovered a possible motive, suggesting that the incident stemmed from an ongoing rivalry between 2 different groups. While the intended target was likely in front of the establishment, the indiscriminate gunfire wreaked havoc on innocent bystanders. In the wake of this tragedy, the community rallied together, providing valuable information to aid law enforcement in their pursuit of justice. A substantial reward of up to $130,000 was offered for any information leading to the arrest of the perpetrators, a testament to the community's determination to hold those responsible accountable for their actions. In the ongoing trial related to the devastating 2021 Memorial Day weekend shooting at the El Mula Banquet Hall in Miami-Dade County, the prosecution presented its case against 24-year-old Devonte Barnes. Barnes is accused of playing a crucial role in the related ambush that resulted in the death of 3 victims and injuries to 20 others. The trial's first day saw emotional testimonies from survivors who recounted the horrific events of that night. The shooting, lasting about 10 seconds, targeted attendees at a rap party, claiming the lives of Shaniqua Peterson, Desmond Owens, and Clayton Dillard. Barnes, though not directly accused of firing shots, faces charges related to his alleged role as the eyes of the operation or the lookout. According to Assistant State Attorney Kyasia Stenson, Barnes arrived early at the scene to assess the situation, checking for the presence of the target, a local rapper. He would then reportedly relay information to the waiting gunman. In her opening statement, Stenson emphasized that the perpetrators had a plan and a target and executed it with precision. The trial aims to establish Barnes' level of involvement in coordinating the attack.
You were arrested for 3 counts of first-degree murder and 20 counts of attempted first-degree murder.
Defense attorney Robert Barra countered by urging the jury to consider the importance of preserving individuals' freedom, cautioning against judgments based on associations. Barra hinted at potential issues with the evidence, claiming that Barnes' 8-hour interrogation had compromised the evidence, as he allegedly said what investigators wanted to hear.
I was supposed to go peek the scene and leave.
Devonte Barnes, in his own words on tape, describing his alleged role as lookout in the shooting outside El Mula Banquet Hall.
I was supposed to be there to see if we got a 4-pack and a lot of other people was there.
Video of his interview with Miami-Dade homicide detectives played for jurors on day 4 of Barnes' trial. The 23-year-old faces 3 counts of first-degree murder and 21 counts of attempted murder.
Whose side was T-Man on?
The bricks.
Prosecutors delved into the alleged motive behind the shooting, a long-standing feud between 2 rival groups called the Back Blues and the Bricks.
Did the problem between the Back Blues and the Bricks go back years before the El Mula mass shooting happened?
Yes.
Barnes also identified other people he claims were involved in the crime.
Dula would be Warneric Buckner.
Warneric Buckner was at one point the second man arrested for this crime, but his charges were later dropped because he was questioned without his requested lawyer. Barnes said Buckner was one of the men inside the white Pathfinder.
He's identifying Dula coming out of the front passenger seat.
We should mention that Buckner is currently behind bars after having been arrested in connection to the murder of a 6-year-old girl. That alleged crime took place before the El Mula shooting. As for Barnes' trial, jurors are still listening to that interrogation tape. It lasted several hours, and so we do know that this will all continue tomorrow. The jury is expected to get the case after listening to closings, hopefully by the end of the week.
As the trial continued, it became evident that the survivors' testimonies painted a vivid picture of the chaos and suffering inflicted by the mass shooting. The prosecution sought to prove Barnes' involvement as the lookout, while the defense maintained that his confession was compromised. The trial continued with further testimonies and the examination of evidence related to this tragic event. After 2 weeks of trial and 20 witnesses, jurors found Devonte Barnes guilty of 3 counts of second-degree murder and 20 counts of second-degree attempted murder. Additionally, Barnes was found not guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder with a deadly weapon. He is facing the death penalty or life in prison. This case is still ongoing. The mass shooting at Miami-Dade's El Mula Banquet Hall was a horrific event that should never have transpired. It resulted in the tragic loss of lives, leaving families devastated and survivors scarred for life. To prevent such senseless acts of violence, a multifaceted approach is essential. Stricter gun control laws, community outreach programs, increased policing in high-risk areas, education, and early intervention are all crucial elements. However, the impact of this tragedy extends far beyond the event itself. Families and loved ones of the victims are left to grapple with unimaginable grief and trauma, forever haunted by the memories of that night. Healing and recovery are long and challenging journeys. This event serves as a poignant reminder of the urgent need to address gun violence comprehensively and collectively. It calls for unity in advocating for change, justice for the victims, and a commitment to preventing similar tragedies in the future. My deepest condolences go out to the families and loved ones of Shaniqua Peterson, Clayton Dillard, Desmond Owens, and others who were affected by the tragic shooting at El Mula Banquet Hall in Miami-Dade. May you find strength, support, and solace during this incredibly difficult time. Your loss is felt deeply, and our thoughts are with you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.